I wanted to take a moment here and just show the Moment 67 millimeter phone filter mount. It's a very simple accessory, but it opens up a lot of creative possibilities for mobile filmmaking or photography. And what this basically does is it lets you attach a standard 67 millimeter camera filter directly onto your phone. So if you already own filter, an ND filter, a CPL, and so on, there's a good chance that you can then use it with this on your mobile phone. Personally, I don't use a 67 millimeter lens filter. I don't have any lenses that fit that. So when I use this, I combine it with a 67 to 72 millimeter step-up ring, which I have here, just as an example. So my typical setup would be with this. Okay, and I actually leave this attached to the Moment filter mount constantly. So this is what it would look like with a step-up ring in general. This happens to be a 67 to 72 millimeter step-up because most of my lenses, about 98%, use 72 millimeter. So I have that, and then I can use any of my current filters with that. Just as an example, I have on hand a polarized filter, CPL, Hoya, which is 67 millimeter. So I can take that, right, and attach it here. There we go. Okay. And this is now ready to be used with my iPhone in my case. So super elegant, easy solution to be able to do that. Now, one thing that I like is with this particular filter mount, and I'll take off the step-up ring just to kind of focus on the Moment product itself only. One of the things I like about this is that it immediately is designed to work across all rear lenses of smartphones, ultra wide, wide, telephoto, and so on. With this large cutout, see, that will cover, right, the area of the camera lenses on most smartphones, maybe not all. I use iPhone, it definitely covers for all of those. And then the filter goes on top, and now you can use that filter with any of the lenses that you happen to be using, whether it's just a traditional wide or an ultra wide, or again, the telephoto. And you don't need a dedicated case or anything like that. You can use any case, no case, you just put this on. Very easy. So when you unscrew this, you don't have to unscrew, it will unscrew completely and detach. Well, I'll just show you as an example. So I can take this off completely. I never do that. I think I just did it for the first time ever now. But you just unscrew it, right? You would slide this onto the phone, and then this would be the screen on this side, and you tighten, okay? And then you have your camera over here. Now, it does have a nice, soft touch point or contact point here. I've never personally been concerned about scratches. I often have a screen protector on my phone. I have not had one for about a year. It still does not concern me, and I have not had any issues with that at all. I don't put lots of pressure onto it because it is connecting to the touch point. The contact point is the display of the phone, but it's that simple. And of course, when I'm storing this, I just put it all the way in, which just would not work at that level on an iPhone. It's not that thin, but I just put it all the way in for storage, and then adjust. I usually take it mostly all the way out, right? Slide the phone in, get the right point, the pressure on there, and I'm good. I've never had it wobble, never had it fall off or anything of that nature. The build quality feels surprisingly solid, to be honest with you. Very nice. Aluminum or metal, I'm not really sure what it's made out of, but it feels very nice. It's very light. You know, the padded contact points are very nice, even on this side. So you have a nice soft pad here, okay? And for mobile video, it becomes particularly useful, right? You can use, for example, ND filters if you're trying to get more cinematic motion blur when you're outdoors, or keep a shutter speed under control in a bright sun scenario. And that type of situation, this becomes a huge difference maker, right? And honestly, one of the biggest advantages, I think, is flexibility. So instead of buying tiny proprietary filters for every phone setup, and you get a phone with a slightly different design, you got to start all over with a new kit. Standard 67 millimeter lens filter, right? You're done. Or in the case of myself, add your step up, and then any standard 72 millimeter lens filter is good to go, right? You probably already have several filters that you could use with that right now. Now, for mobile creators, even enthusiasts, especially when shooting travel videos, B-roll, YouTube content, things like that, or cinematic footage on an iPhone or Android, this is a very practical accessory. It's one of those accessories that seems very simple, but once you start using filters on your phone, whether for video footage or photography, it's hard to go back. Now, I personally don't use my phone for much video. Video is just not one of the mediums I typically use very much. But for photography, in my case, I absolutely love it. It's great. Moment does have a line of what they call quick lock filters. And those are designed to, for example, on an iPhone, it's the exact specifications, if you will. It clips on, if you can call it that, to the case. It fits perfectly around the camera lenses. It's got a much smaller footprint. It's probably a bit more secure. It's less bulky overall. It's much less bulky than this. But you're locked into that filter, right? So they have a quick lock filter for the different ones you might want, such as a CPL, a VND, a variable ND filter, what they call Cineblooms, which is basically diffusion filters, and a UV. Each of those run at 75 bucks a pop from Moment. This is $40. Just the adapter here, the phone filter mount, the phone filter mount, so it's 40 bucks. Step up ring, I don't recall what I paid for it, honestly. But anyway, this is 40 bucks, and I can use any filter I want on it, right? The quick lock filters, which I think, I've never used them, they look amazing. I would absolutely want one, but I'm hesitant because it locks me into that particular phone setup, case, and so on. Whereas this I can use with any phone, lend it to a friend, anyone can use it with basically any smartphone. So wonderful little accessory. Again, very simple, but if you do video or photography often on mobile and you care about the quality, this is going to make a big difference.